Hey, hey, hey! What's good? What's goody? Party, 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 party. I'm Dee.
I'm Lish.
And this is Allow It. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you've all had a great week. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode and the episode before that and all the other episodes.
Exactly.
Because you should be catching up and watching us all the time.
I know.
Of course, listen to us, but don't listen to us.
Well, don't listen to her.
Listen to us, but don't listen to us.
Don't listen to Dee.
Exactly. What's going on this week, Lish?
The week came in. Yeah.
It came in hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it left hot and heavy too.
Yeah. It's been a tough one for me. I haven't been well. It's not been the greatest of weeks, but we move.
Yeah.
We move on very quickly.
The weather is shifting.
Oh yes,
things
of course.
are
Yeah.
the equinox is happening. It's not the same.
Do you know? I found out today that this year is what they call a karmic year.
Oh,
so
wow.
Basically, let's say whatever you do within this year will come back to you tenfold, which it normally does anyway, in general, but heavy on the karmic year, apparently. So it comes back to you heavier.
It's quite interesting you say that, because this year, that word karma has been flowing around like so much. Yeah.
Bouncing around everywhere.
Yeah.
And they said not only that, but if there is someone else's downfall or someone who is going through something and you make it your business to continue sort of parading that person to say, oh, you deserve it, you're getting what you deserve, and all of that stuff. So berating someone who is down in the dumps for one reason or another, maybe because they're getting their karmic revenge, obviously, karmic whatever it may be, they're getting that because it's their season.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you put them down, then that doubles on you. And it might pass you and then go to your children.
Oof.
So hence, that's why people are saying, okay.
We don't want all of that.
No, not at all. They're saying, although things are happening to other people, of course, people that are famous, people that are not famous, whatever is happening, because the karmic energies are alive and jumping, clearly, you should try your best to keep your opinions to yourself and mind your business as much as possible.
Oh, wow.
So you should say, okay, technically, this person, I guess, deserves it, but I'm not rejoicing in their downfall. You shouldn't glorify their downfall. Also not condone the behavior, but also at the same time, just mind your business. So if you're out there and you're trying to play God and be judgmental and all of that stuff, just know it's gonna reroute. And once it does, it would be tenfold. So mind your business in the karmic year.
Not mind your business in the karmic year.
Mind your business in the karmic year. Because there's a lot going on. As you know, Diddy,
there is a lot going on.
Puff Daddy, Diddy Combs, Sean Combs.
Take that.
Diddy.
Love.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Love.
Dr. Love. Brother Love. Has finally been arrested for his alleged offences. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of people coming out from this centre, left, right, there, up, down, saying he did that, he did this, he said this. The baby oil is all I care about.
They said whatever they said he did, he did that shit. He did that shit.
We hold allegedly. Because we're in show business.
In the court of law, you are innocent until proven guilty.
And that does not mean that we do not condone his behavior, of course, especially the evidence that's come out with the Cassie situation and everything in between. Yeah. So, there's a lot going on with him, but we'll see what happens in court. I wonder if it's going to be a YSL type of court session, type of trial.
I'm curious. It was because I was talking about the whole situation with some of my colleagues, and they were saying it was when his first bail got denied.
Right.
But they were like,
because it's a huge flight risk.
Yeah, but they were like, he put up a whole lot of money. You know,
he sure did.
Surrendered his passports and his children's passports.
Mm-hmm.
So they were assuming that his appeal would have been granted. But I was like, Weinstein. Look at what Weinstein, Cosby, R. Kelly, of course. So I'm just assuming, they weren't going to grant his bail, which they did not.
Because they had already decided, I believe, not necessarily because he's a flight risk, but I think they want to make him an example. Yes. And first and foremost, he is still a black man. So, yes. In first and foremost, that's the light he's seen in by all of the judges and the jury. So it is what it is. I
feel for
his children.
100%, and
the
also the victims. I do hope those individuals will be able to find some kind of, I don't know, solace in all of this. So,
very true.
Yeah,
I was more concerned about the thousands of bottles of baby oil that were found in his bathroom.
I forgot. The oil.
So if you haven't seen this all over the social media, they found
and lube. Don't forget, it's oil and lube.
That was found in his home, and there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these bottles. And I was thinking, what sane person needs that many? Someone even said, I hate social media, but someone said, oh, not even the chemists or the pharmacists have that much baby oil
in stock. Actually, that is true. Actually.
Like how many places did he need to source all of these?
I didn't even think about
these bottles of lube and baby oil. But yeah, we shut that one down. We keep on watching. We keep on seeing. We keep on listening.
I'm like, who named this? Who named his gatherings the freak-offs?
I don't know. I think they have the documentary on Netflix about what was happening back in the day. I can't remember in which city or wherever.
What, Freak Nick?
Well, they'll have Freak Nick,
okay.
And I think maybe that's where they got it from.
So freak-offs derived from Freak Nick. Okay.
Personally, that's what I assumed, but it's just an assumption.
Okay.
Please put it down in the comments if you know. But yeah, we'll keep on watching and listening in, and we'll see what happens with this trial.
We will see what happens. Watch this space.
Watch this space, indeed. Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be much more to discuss. But yeah, that's what's been happening in the showbiz world, shall they say.
Yeah. Man.
Exactly. Man, indeed. And they were saying, of course, the rumors are saying it's because this is the reason why Ben Affleck said, all right, then cool, if you want to sign the divorce papers, I'm down. Because apparently there's been a video that has been disclosed to Affleck's team of J-Lo and the happenings with Diddy.
She was at the freak-offs too?
They were together for a while.
Yeah, but she left him when that whole thing went down in the club. That shine went down for her.
Yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, she was still there for a long time. And I swear she saw something. She saw something.
Like people say the Lifetime movie is going to be.
Exactly. At the end of the day, whatever happens in the dark will always come to light.
Yes, this is true.
So, again, mind your business.
Yes, and let's all try to have
face your front.
Good karma out
exactly.
there.
Yeah, mind your business and face your front. On this side of the pond, rather, the boys that I adored at some point, listened to religiously at some point. So you all know, well-known Shxts and Gigs, and this is not allegedly because it's not alleged. They said it,
clear.
They did it. It's very clear.
It's clear as day.
Exactly, it's as clear as day.
Not a day in London, but a sunny, clear day elsewhere.
Exactly. So they went on tour in America while they were there. Not this time round, but they went on a podcast tour. Okay. Apparently this was actually filmed back in July when they did their podcast tour, and they were going from podcast to podcast.
Oh, so this was in July when they filmed. Okay, yeah.
With Andrew Schultz. So they were going from podcast to podcast to promote their American tour.
Wait, pause. So they had all this time to think about releasing it,
They
and
sure
they still
did.
released it.
No, they didn't release it because it's not on their.
Of course,
it's not on their channel.
Andrew
He
still
released it.
Okay.
He released it because, of course, after their tour had happened, that's when he decided to release it. He has, I'm sure, archives of videos.
Of course,
so at
yeah,
some point, he then decided to
Yeah.
release. They just weren't ready. What happened is that I think they filmed it. They did all of it. They
Yeah.
thought about it. Realized, oh, damn, when they most probably came out of that studio, and then thought to themselves, let's just move on and forget it ever happened. So they were unaware of when the episode was actually going to be released. So if you haven't seen it, please go and watch it, not to support them, but so you can be aware of them. So it has been said in the interview, Andrew Schultz was going on and discussing about Black women, about Black men, about Nigerians, about Africans, about Islams. They were discussing various topics and making a whole joke about it, and just in a way he was bringing out his true self through comedy. And then Fuhad and James were basically not only, they were actually victims in it without them realizing, but realizing.
Yeah.
Without them realizing, but realizing. And then also thinking to themselves, they weren't really the main brunt of the joke, because I heard Fuhad actually dissociate when he said, when they were speaking about Nigerians, and he was like, oh yeah, because there's a lot of them. Well, you're Nigerian.
You're Nigerian.
So you're them.
Yeah.
You're them. They started speaking
and he's
about
from this country.
Exactly.
And I've rarely heard a Black person,
Yes.
even if they're like third generation, say that they're British.
Yes,
So,
very much so.
come on
so
now.
your heritage is very much Nigerian. You're Nigerian blood. In fact, he went to school in Nigeria.
Oh,
actually.
wow.
So even more so, he was dissociating from his own self and thinking that will make the situation better. Of course, they discussed how Black women can be aggressive, will stress men out to the point where they're losing their hair, and they're slapping men around, and which is
that's why they need to have a beard.
Exactly, so
Yeah.
diabolical. So diabolical, the statements that they were saying there, and then go, cut, this is hilarious. They have, however, come out with a apology at the beginning of one of their latest videos. Their version of an apology, because I personally didn't take it as an apology. Feel free to go and watch that as well. Where he sort of says they were going through sort of like a what is it called? Fight or fly mode, and it was really uncomfortable. All they wanted to do was get out of there, and now in hindsight they realized they should have said something and they should have supported.
But
Black
it's like,
women.
you guys are not babies.
And
like, what
exactly,
are you talking about?
you're grown men that could have just walked away.
Yeah.
And he wasn't paying you. You would not. That was
So
not
they weren't
paid.
even
That's not
getting
paid. That's not paid. They're there to promote their tour.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's
and
tour
if I
promotion.
think about as big as they are, like, you guys aren't us.
Exactly.
You could have got up and walked away.
Thank you. We still trying to get clout.
Exactly. You're not us. You could have actually got up and walked away.
We got views in the hundreds. They got views in the 100,000s.
What are you talking about?
They can walk away
like,
at any point.
Pardon me?
Exactly. So, I myself have not accepted that apology. And of course, a lot of people are going to say, oh, it was said in jest and they were joking and you don't understand comedy. And a lot of people are taking things way too seriously and we should move on, which of course we should move on. But at the end of the day, Black men should be advocating for us, supporting us, and advocating for themselves too.
Exactly.
Because there was a point where he was making fun of his name,
and
he was saying, "Oh, do you pronounce it like this or like that?" And he was there like, "Oh, whichever way you want to do it." And I'm just thinking, don't be weird. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself just as an individual. If you don't want to stand up for us, at least stand up for yourself. Be a man.
I love comedy just as much as the next person, and I'm not that sensitive. But one thing that I'm not standing for is a white man discussing black women. I don't even think
Indeed.
Andrew's ever dated a black woman.
I don't know.
To talk about how you
and
lose
because
hair.
he's got a black best friend, that's why he thinks he can possibly get away with
that
it.
Association nonsense.
Exactly.
At
the end of the day, free Gaza.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely not.
And stuff you, Andrew
absolutely
Schultz.
not. Like, Charlemagne, where are you?
Exactly. Why is it Charlemagne should actually give him Donkey of the Day, like you mentioned?
He should
because
say
that
something.
is just absurd behavior. So of course, people should feel free to do what they want with their money, and do what they want with their time. If you want to continue to watch and listen to them, you can go ahead. But as of I have dipped out.
I didn't listen to them anyways, but
oh yeah, of course, it's not really your thing. I think British humor is not really your thing. However, when I was watching their tour clips beforehand, I was thinking, what an amazing experience, because of course they went on tour together as best friends. I said, it's just an amazing experience to see two best friends like live their best life.
Yeah.
Do what they love every day, make money from it, and of course feed themselves, feed their families, feed their the people that work for them, their family, their friends, whoever it may be. So yeah, although all of that is such a shame, because of course they've just come from an amazing tour which did really well for them, and I'm sure gave them the exposure that they wanted. But it is a shame that this has come from the back of it. It is also a shame that the apology was half-hearted, in my opinion. So that's that with Shxts and Truly Gigs. Like I said, the videos are out there, and it's not alleged. It's all
very
clear as day. But I shall not rejoice at anyone's downfall.
Well, I mean, they'll be okay because
they'll be completely
because one
fine.
thing black men aren't gonna do is stand up for black women.
Of course, yeah. It's nothing new. It's nothing we haven't experienced before. So it's completely fine. And they're at a position where most of their audience is very varied. So they do have, a mix of backgrounds of their audience. Yeah. So that other mix is saying, oh, it was just a joke, whatever.
They'll be okay.
They will be okay. They will be completely fine. Yeah. And I'm sure the boys will still be winning, but it's a shame. This has come to light as such. This has come to light as such.
Free Shxts and Gigs.
Free Shxts and Gigs. We're never gonna get an invite on their show. Clearly.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just here for the Shxts and Gigs anyway, so whatever. It's A-okay.
It's A-okay indeed. What are you wearing today and why?
Oh, what am I wearing? I am wearing these Zara trousers.
Very nice.
They easily get wrinkled.
Whatever. You still iron them at some point.
Yeah. And this Uniqlo Airism t-shirt.
It's clearly not doing its job since you're still hot as hell
hot,
in here.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's not really working.
Exactly. I'm wearing
New Balances.
This Zara H&M cord that the last time we were in Dubai and living our best lives. I wanted to feel like I was still in Dubai, although I'm stuck in this godforsaken country. As I always say, just bad vibes and damp. And of course, we're moving into that season where it's going to be very much damp. It's going to be very much about the damp and about the bad vibes. And of course, my signature red lip, which is also a signature red lip for you.
Yes.
Looking like the whores that we are, Jezebels. A Jehovah's Witness hates to see me coming.
With that red lip.
A Jehovah's Witness hates to see me coming locked with this lip. Yeah, shoulders on show.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy, indeed.
But who are we to judge?
Exactly. Nobody's. Indeed. So I wanted to discuss something actually that I didn't tell you about. But I might as well just start talking about it anyway.
Okay.
But I think it's imperative that we have this discussion at this point, because we started this podcast when we were very much fresh mothers again, in the depths of postpartum.
Yes.
And really kind of going through it. and we've used this as our outlet, our creative outlet, and also an outlet that we think our fellow women, fellow mothers, fellow entrepreneurs, fellow corporate babes need to hear us, our version of what's going on with us and what's going on really with other women that experience this. And I wanted to discuss our phases in motherhood. And now that we're out of that phase, if you feel like you are, that is because it depends on where you're at. Now that you're out of that phase as such, where do you think your kind of your state at the moment within motherhood and balance and work and friendship and relationship lies at the moment? I know that's a really sort of broad topic.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to tap into that because we haven't discussed it in a while.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm out of the trenches per se with, you know, having a child, getting through the first year, and now entering into the
other phase,
second year.
Yeah.
What is it? The terrible twos. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think for me now, my biggest hurdle is my eldest.
Right.
So
okay.
yeah, because obviously she's coming
into her own
kind of little human. And I am trying to navigate that at the moment. I know that there is many similarities to how I was as a young adolescent female. So I really have to try to give her grace. But it is really, really hard, especially for me, because as I've mentioned many times, parenthood was not in my cards.
Not on the cards.
I wasn't ready for that.
It wasn't a master plan.
Yeah. For me, I always question myself that am I doing the right thing? Am I doing this right? Am I like, I mean, both of my kids are gonna need therapy regardless, but but I'm like, oh my gosh, am I putting trauma on my kids? Like what, you have to keep on kind of second guessing yourself and how you're parenting. So I think for me, I am at that space where I am out of the trenches. I am kind of now having time to sit down and reflect on myself, but I'm also aware that I am, kind of questioning how my parenting will affect my kids in the long haul.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
This comes from only because I was having a discussion with someone and they were highlighting how much their mother's parenting or their mother's actions in a way have sort of molded the individual they are today. So go rest in peace to my mother, amazing, beautiful, love of my life woman. And she, I think in my eyes could do no wrong whatsoever. And I'm at a point now in my life where I realize actually that I am very much, in fact, almost identical to her ways. There is instances where I mentioned to you before that I've started noticing that, yes, the trenches, I'm completely out of the trenches now when it comes to not just my elder son, but also with the little bubbers, my two little tyrants. I'm still in the trenches whereby sometimes I am overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed in instances where is the crying ever going to stop? I'm overwhelmed in the instance where support is there, but I'm still alone.
Yeah.
Right? So I still feel very much alone with this. And I don't think right now, ask me in a few months, we'll discuss this again.
Yeah.
I don't think there will ever really be a time where I won't feel alone being a multiple mom.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could understand that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel that in a way. So besides that,
and especially your two kids, the twins now, they are very much mommy's
They
boys.
they are
they're
obsessed with me.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the first was a bit different.
Exactly. The first was very different.
Yeah.
They're very, it's hard for them to let go. They do go to, obviously, to nursery and stuff, and they're okay when they're there, but then when they're with me, that it's like they are obsessive over me, which of course I adore, because those are your children. But I'm also a very what is it called, an introvert in my own home, if that makes sense. So there is times where I would want space. I feel touched out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not.
I feel touched out.
I'm not that type of mom.
Yeah. I feel completely touched out, but also wanting that too, because I know it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, that's true.
There has to be like some kind of balance there in a way. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at there. And also I'm also at a point where I want to do so much more than what was done for me. And what was done for me was a lot. So it's like there's a heaviness now, which is different from the heaviness that I felt postpartum. So all that postpartum depression, anxiety, and all of that stuff. There's a heaviness to that. But then now there's a heaviness that comes with, okay, I want to do my very best with everything. And it's like, yes, they will need therapy, I'm sure. Yes, they will need this, and they will need ways to cope. And yes, we can never be perfect. But there's also like a burden really on our shoulders to make sure that what was done before that was great and good is done moving forward.
Better,
20 times better. And what wasn't done is we need to make sure that we do, so we don't miss anything. I'm at that I don't want to miss anything stage with all three of them. So yeah, I wish there was more discussion on this with mothers.
Yeah, I agree.
Women.
In generational, I mean, unfortunately, RIP to your mom.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see, though, sometimes, even when I see how I parent my kids sometimes, and I do similar things that my mom has done with me, and I hear how my mom is with her mom, and and she does similar things that her mom has done, even though there's maybe some similar things that she doesn't agree with.
Right.
But, those things are done. So I think it's very also important to think about generational habits that should be left.
It should be eliminated.
Yes. Left in that generation back there. Like,
yeah,
so,
exactly.
I think that is definitely important.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast the other day, again, Megan Ashley, and she was speaking to an author who I've mentioned as well, mentioned to you the other day. And she said that she was brought up in a household where her mother had bipolar disorder and her father was an alcoholic. So she realized that when she was raising her children, she's starting something new. Like she's starting something
from scratch.
Because she doesn't have, there's no blueprint from anyone. And then her great grandfather was an adulterer and a gambler. So there was no blueprint before then either. So it was a case that she said there's continual like building and learning and building and learning, because she had to realize that actually I'm the very first one to try and build a healthy pathway for the generations to come. So that also came with a really huge weight on her shoulders to make sure that not only her children, but then her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren that comes with it. So in life, really, is it ever ending, this goal or this reaching for attainment of basically achieving and doing and the best and I have to do better than this, I need to do better, it's sometimes it's exhausting, it's hard as hell,
unattainable.
Exactly. Literally unattainable.
But I think being aware is important.
Yes, awareness is very
Yeah.
key. Yeah, not completely ignoring the fact that there's certain things that need to be done better or we need to do better.
Yeah.
But yeah, mothers, what do you think? Let us know what
Let
phases
us
you are
know.
in. I know, like I said, it's going to change again. It's interesting to see because we've got a couple of our friends that are pregnant again. Congratulations, by the
Yes.
way, to those friends of ours. And I wonder at this stage for them, because yes, I do have 3 children, but they came at the same time, obviously the multiples.
Yeah.
So I most probably have got a different perspective because they're going to have their third child that has got a difference in age from the previous one.
Yeah,
So how
yeah.
is it going to happen to navigate that? We'll most probably bring them on after that
definitely.
because that would be a great conversation to
Yes.
have. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see as everyone kind of goes into their different phases, and of course when don't speak to me about adolescence. I'll actually puke because I don't think I'm ready for 3 adolescent boys
Wow.
and 2 at the same time.
Yeah, wowzers. Wowzers.
Wowzers indeed. Fun and games. Fun and games, exactly. So you wanted to...
Oh, yes, I haven't allowed
You haven't allowed it with the advice.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly indeed. Considering our conversation last week. Considering last week. That's a reminder for you guys. If you haven't listened to last week, make sure you do that.
Yes, make sure.
And share.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, let's call her. Let's
give her a name.
Kiki.
Kiki,
Hey,
do you
Kiki.
love me?
Okay.
Running.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah. Okay, so Kiki just got offered her dream job.
Amazing.
She's been waiting for this kind of opportunity for years, and she's been working towards getting to this point in her career for the last 5 years. But the only problem is that this opportunity is in another country.
Oh dear. Okay.
And her boyfriend has made it clear that he doesn't want to move. She said obviously this job could completely change her career trajectory, and it's something that she's always wanted, but now she feels like she needs to choose between her future career and her relationship. And she really loves her boyfriend and she doesn't want to lose him, but she also doesn't want to look back and regret passing up this opportunity because of her boyfriend. And she's now asking us, how does she decide what's more important? Is it her career elevation or, in this day and age, her relationship, since she's got a good one? He's a good man, Savannah.
He's a good man.
He's a good man.
And all I say is it's 25 degrees.
No, it's 95.
95 degrees.
Is it 25 in Celsius?
I don't know.
Maybe it's 25
It's 25 in Celsius.
Yeah,
it's 25
okay,
if you're in London.
Whatever.
I ain't got a man and a man got me. I ain't got no ninja. Ninja ain't got me.
Yeah. It's 95 degrees indeed.
All I gotta say is that it brings me back to the conversation that we're having about how we're the most single in a relationship people that I've ever met in our lives.
I'm in a relationship, but I'm single.
So I don't know. I think it depends on I think it just depends on a lot of things. I think age is a huge factor with that.
Yeah,
so I'm not so sure how.
Out.
Yeah, so that would really help.
Yeah.
If you're under 30, girl, if you don't pack that bag, I'll pack it for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like if you're under 30,
I'm packing it for you.
Girl, if it's meant to be, you guys will find your way back.
It will find your way back to each other.
Yeah.
Look at J-Lo and Ben.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Exactly. You might find your way back to each other.
Yeah.
But if you like I said, there's just too many mitigating circumstances that she's kind of left out. But from my perspective, first of all, I'm booking that flight. I'm going. And if he wants to follow me, great. If he doesn't want to, let's do long distance relationships, see how it goes. It might go well. In fact, what is it called? Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, I agree.
So
with
that might actually work.
Yes.
Because I need to start being
100%.
I need to start being reasonable here, because I don't want to be known as as the one that's always telling people to cut people off. Reasonable Dionne is telling you that maybe you should go for your job, your dream job, and you should try the long distance thing. Not necessarily cut him off at the beginning. If he's saying to you, actually, if you move, that's it, ban that, he wasn't meant to be. Because he can't be giving you ultimatums like that, because you can't be picking and choosing. If it was him, if it was up to him, I tell you right now, he would have booked that flight as soon as he heard that job say, yes, we're giving you the offer. Yeah. He wouldn't even spoken to you about any type of resolution, any type of solution. He would have been on Spirit.
Whatever flight he could get, he would have been out.
He would have been on Spirit with no leg room. Or EasyJet, for if you're here in the UK, he would have been on that EasyJet flight or Ryanair yesterday. So, girl, there's a lot of options that you need to weigh out. Number one, is this really worth it? Is the relationship looking up like that? If he is really the one, I tell you now, the one is never giving you an ultimatum.
Yeah, especially when it comes to your career.
Yeah. And listen to Auntie D here, because I'm clocking now auntie ages.
Not auntie ages.
I'm clocking auntie ages. I'm getting to those auntie stages too. I started matching my glasses to my outfits. That's how you really know that I've clocked black auntie ages. Yeah. The only thing that I'm missing is the hoops, like the big earrings. But maybe if I cut my hair, then maybe that will happen. But listen to Auntie D, okay, depending on your situation. But I really, really think the one will never give you an ultimatum. Ever. Thoughts?
I agree. I agree that the one would not give you an ultimatum. I also do think about, I mean, I don't even know, age-wise, you seem to be hung up on your career anyway, so it seems like that's really what I feel like. That is what really you've made your choice to you. Yeah, you made it very clear that you've been working towards that. You've gotten that opportunity. So yeah, I agree. If it's meant to be, it will be. But I don't think you should
pass up on this.
On such a life-changing opportunity because of a man. Because as we spoke about earlier, men will laugh in your face, girl.
They sure will.
They will play in your face.
They'll it's hilarious.
They will play and laugh in your face. So I just
do you, girl?
Think twice.
Do
Think
you
twice about it?
Yeah, for sure. Do you? And I would for sure not go with the whole he's the one. If he's the one, he ain't giving you no ultimatums of any type of sorts. And now that I think of it, regardless of what age you are, even if you're damn near 45, damn near 50, if this is what you want to do and what you've always wanted to do, girl, do it.
I agree. Yeah.
Girl, do it. Yeah. Go to a different country.
Pack them bags and get on that flight, girl.
Get them out. Yeah, that's what you need to do. That's definitely what you need to do. So, thank you for asking the question again. Don't know why people continue to trust us, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Keep them coming, exactly. Please. Definitely keep them coming for sure.
Yeah. So I think that's it, guys. I'm tired and I don't feel like talking to y'all anymore.
That's rude. Not you being cancelled before we've even made it.
It's Friday night.
Not you being cancelled before we've even made it.
I can't be cancelled because we're obviously not there yet. So
it's not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's only when people look back at these videos, they're like, wow, they always said it. She said she doesn't need supporters anyway.
I know, right? Don't support her.
Exactly. Thank you so much for listening in. As always, my name is D.
I am Lish.
And this has been
Allow It.
Thank you. Peace.
Bye.
See you next week, guys.